cover all of our favorite games of the year. Extra, extra, hero about it!
Hey guys, welcome to the podcast where we just celebrate the hold on. Celebrate the year. I'm the Dean of Games, the Dean Slater on all platforms. I'll be honest, I've added so many social medias. I have like all of the social medias. And you can find me there at the Dean Slater. And joining me is twitch.tv/LMJ the Hitman Landen.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I've survived the plague.
Yeah.
And I am wide awake this morning.
I mean, hey, that's a good thing. I always feel like in the morning, I say this as someone that works overnight, so I actually sleep in the morning. But I always feel like the earlier I wake up, the more productive I feel.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
It just doesn't always happen.
It doesn't always happen the way you want it to, but I'm here and I'm waking up and I'm here to talk about some video games, and I am excited to give my list today.
Oh,
so
yeah.
Excited.
And that list is our Game Awards list. Obviously, there's the Jeff Keighley Game Awards, and Kind of Funny has their Game Awards, and so does IGN, and all of them. But the one that matters, the awards that you should pay attention to, are the Extra Extra Game Awards.
They're extra awesome this year too.
Yeah. Oh,
no wrong choices by anybody either.
No,
so respect all around, no matter what their votes are.
It was a phenomenal year. I will say, one of my award choices may be controversial? ?
Okay,
but we'll get into that when we get into that. But yeah, so that's what we're going to be doing. It's been a phenomenal year for video games. And if we have some extra time, we may talk about like some honorable mentions and so forth. But yeah, we have, let's see, I believe it's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep. We have 6 awards that we're going to be handing out. We're obviously going to do the game of the year, our personal game of the year's last. But yeah, we're just gonna have fun, discuss video games. We'll probably go back and forth, giving our awards, and as we go back and forth, we will discuss the other person's choices. And like I said, if we have time at the end, we'll discuss the year in general. So let's start with one that it's a big one for you, so it might have been a tough choice for you. The Fun with Friends Award, which goes to the
Friends
Best Multiplayer of the Year.
So I had a rough time with this one. And, the majority, for my PlayStation Wrapped that I got this year, my most multiplayer game was Apex Legends. But I was playing ranked in Apex Legends, and I feel like they did a really shit year on their ranked this year. It was just pretty bad. And I wouldn't call it fun. It was a grind. There's a lot of yelling and a lot of humbleness going on.
Yeah.
So I'm not giving Apex Legends this multiplayer game of the year. I'm not giving your average multiplayer game of the year award. So mine is unique because my most fun while playing multiplayer was Elden Ring, and that is who I'm giving the award to is Elden Ring because
Wow.
I,
Okay.
I needed a lot of help in that game. That game is really tough, but I was constantly bouncing between having my brother or helping my brother, my roommate and childhood friend. We played a lot together, but either he needed help or I needed help, predominantly me needing help. And just being able to bounce between all my friends, whether helping them get past a certain spot that they're stuck on, or someone helping me getting past the spot that I was stuck on, or sharing knowledge with just people, trading weapons, and I don't know. It was a good experience, and honestly, it was the best. It just shows you how much shit multiplayer was everywhere else. But
Yeah.
that was my most fun was playing with friends on that game. So it
Yeah.
goes to Elden Ring.
I guess I can't say too much because my multiplayer game might be a little controversial too, but yeah, Elden Ring, like some of my biggest complaints in general about FromSoft games is their multiplayer. So that definitely shocks me, but I understand you do a lot more multiplayer than I do. So, uh you have your finger on the pulse a little bit more than I do, but um yeah, I mean, I do know that they made co-op much easier this time around than in the past. Uh,
Yes.
I still like the games that just let you join without having, to grind materials and stuff, but I do know they made it a lot easier.
It was
Um,
so much easier that they changed it to where instead of not telling you how to get a friend in your game, like with not telling you what the item does, what item it is, oh, how to use
yeah,
it actually told you. It went from any other games not telling you to this one telling you. So that changed a lot for a lot of people because it used to be, let me just figure this out.
yeah, um, yeah. Some something that um Andrea Renee from What's Good Games has pointed out before. This was her first FromSoft game, and she really enjoyed it. But one thing she definitely had criticism of was she wanted to continue playing with her friends because that's how she played it. She played it with friends, but she wanted to turn the notes off. She wanted to enjoy the world without it being bogged down because there's a couple places where it became a meme to leave a note there, and she just wanted to play the multiplayer without the notes, and obviously FromSoft's not known for having their options. um so like there were definitely issues, but like you said, some of the multiplayer games this year, there was not a lot of good choices. um Mine, I don't know if this I don't know if this counts or not, but like my list for all my awards, I wanted my list to be games that I actually played. And as I've mentioned before, there's really only one multiplayer game that I play, and it went free to play this year, which is why I'm including it. I don't know if that counts, it going from a paid game to a free to play game. I don't know if that essentially counts as it relaunching. But Fall Guys.
Oh. Oh, okay. I mean, you had to pay for it initially, right?
Yeah, I paid for it initially, but because I paid for it when they went to free to play, they gave me the premium battle pass without me
Eh,
having to pay.
I feel like that's not enough. I feel like that's not enough.
No, I mean, it's not like it was the most expensive game to start with, but yeah,
Sure, sure, sure.
I know it's a little on the cheap side, but what can you expect? It is Epic, but like as much good as Epic has done in the past, Epic is not exactly. Let's I don't know how to say it in a nice way, so I will just leave it at that.
Fall Guys, though, huh? I mean, that's a good choice. That game is family friendly. They should win Family Game of the Year every year. I feel like they should win
Yeah.
Multiplayer Game of the Year, maybe even ongoing because their content is they're doing pretty
Yeah.
good with their content.
Oh, what was they just added some
Oh, they had
costumes.
SpongeBob.
Yeah.
I just had SpongeBob. Yeah, gotta get me that.
Yeah, I need to get back on. I have not done the new Battle Pass at all. I have not played in a minute, but man, I do love that game. So do you want for this next award? Do you want to go first again, or do you want me to go for the next one?
It don't matter. I'll go first. Do you want me to choose which one?
Sure, you can choose.
I mean, we can save Goaty for the last.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go. Actually, yeah, the Charles Manson one. Cult following.
Yeah, that's the best. That was the game with the cult following this year.
Yes, and I think this might be pretty on the nose, but I chose Stray.
Yeah, that was in the running for me as well.
I very much enjoyed that game, and that cat is absolutely adorable. And they did such a good job. Like it feels like like you're playing as a real cat. It really does.
Yeah.
And it just moves around, and it's like I got pretty attached to the cat. As much as the cat, it's not really a character. It was to me because I like cats.
Yeah.
So the cult following for that game was kind of crazy.
Yeah, no, like you looked at the conversations for some of the Game Awards things with Stray, and it's like, and even then, Stray was like had what the third most nominations, and it's like, it's just a game where you play as a cat. It's not.
Yeah, I almost chose Elden Ring because those people are savage and they're a force to be reckoned with, I guess. But the Elden Ring fan base, that cult following is kind of hardcore and mean.
Yeah. Speaking of which, my award for Charles Manson goes to Elden Ring.
Hey, there you go. Yep. They are a cult, like yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Like I've voiced my complaints, and I even in this episode I voiced some of my complaints with the game, and with FromSoft in general. But I maybe had like 50 people on my block list on Twitter prior to Elden Ring. It's probably up to like 300 now because of the Elden Ring fanboys, the Get Good, as James called them, the Get Good fanboys.
Community. Yeah, the Get Good community.
Because, like, listen, just because the game's good doesn't mean that it's perfect. No game is ever perfect. If you can't handle criticism of the game and you have to go and just be the biggest piece of shit to someone because, you know, they said that there's aspects of your game they didn't like, or that they want just accessibility settings. What the argument that they give is so dumb to accessibility. They're like, well, if it's an option in the game, then what's to say people that don't need to use it? Who cares? Who cares?
Totally agree.
But yeah, no, it's
Elden Ring. Charles Manson. There's lots of similarities.
Oh yeah. So my block list, went up by a degree of 6 because of the Get Good fanboys that are all about Elden Ring. And like even there are a couple journalists I thought about blocking too. Like I normally like Timur Hussein. Man, he got so fucking annoying about Elden Ring.
Did he?
Yeah. Oh my god. I was like, man, I might block you. Same with Jason Schreier. Jason Schreier was like, what makes the game good is that you have to have a notebook. And don't get me wrong, I have a gaming notebook, but it's for stuff that I don't necessarily need, like for
not to enhance
Yeah.
the gameplay. Yeah.
Yeah. It's, you shouldn't have to keep track of the side quests for the game. That's something the game should do. Like my notebook is for I use a lot for Stardew. Stardew, I don't need the notebook to tell me where, what I need to do is to be like, oh, here's what I want to do for the day, or here's stuff I don't have in my shipped category that I need to ship for the achievement. Like, so I don't have to constantly be opening the menu. I could just open up the menu, but I'll be like, all right, today here's what I'm focusing on. Here's the items I need to get, and that's what I use the notebook for. I don't use the notebook because the game doesn't tell me what I need. But yeah, that again, I'm going back to bitching about Elden Ring, and we're supposed to be celebrating games. And Elden Ring was a phenomenal game. Don't get me wrong. I when it first came out, I definitely took the meme to an extreme because the Get Good boys were to the extreme. But Elden Ring was a good game. But man, some of their following, it was rough. But I agree with you with Stray too, because they were like, "Oh, Stray should win this award. Stray should win this award," and it's like it's not like none of the reviews I read, like they just were talking nonstop about the cat, and it's like, yeah, but what about the game? I get it, it's a cat.
Yeah, I agree.
So let's see.
Oh yeah, you should choose and go first.
All right, I can choose and go first. So there's 3 choices. I will go. You know what? I know who I am. The audience knows who I am. I will choose the Thirst Award. The Thirst Award goes to the sexiest video game character of a game that came out this year. And actually, I did save an image of my choice. Nurse Miriam from Pokemon Scarlet and Violet.
Oh, okay.
That is my choice for the Thirst Award. It was, let's face it, for me, it was going to be either a character from Pokemon or it was going to be a character from Xenoblade. But I don't know a whole lot about Xenoblade. I know a lot about Pokemon. And, also she's a nurse, so, Huh?
Right.
It's the Animaniacs thing of, hello, nurse.
Well, I don't blame you, that's for sure. I was trying to also work on a picture for mine, but mine is I'm not gonna lie, I was smitten immediately on first sight of this character, and I was simping immediately, and I immediately started looking for, is there like plushies, or is there toys, or is there some posters I can get for this character? I just needed some more. And that's why I chose Stray. That cat is the sexiest cat I have. Hold on, let me make sure Ridley's not nearby. No, yeah, that cat is the sexiest cat. Well, first of all, it's obviously the sexiest cat in gaming this year. There are no other cats, so it wins that category immediately.
Yeah.
So, I love that cat so much, dude. That cat is so adorable. I'm not trying to add myself to the cult, but I did for the other award. But I really like that cat, and as far as sexiest, I enjoyed as I running up. Like I enjoyed Kratos' voice is just amazing to hear.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
listen to him say fucking anything. So
Oh
that
yeah.
was my runner up. Kratos, not only is he just built like a fucking tank, he moves with every time he moves with purpose, and his voice, I could listen to him talk about literally anything. I
Oh
love
yeah.
Christopher Judge's voice.
Yeah.
So good.
Christopher Judge
There's a
is
reason he won
yeah,
best what performance?
best performance, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, his speech went on a little long, but I was like, I was telling my audience, because I was streaming it, I was like, listen, we can just listen to Christopher Judge. Like, this ain't a problem.
This is not a problem. Yeah, but
Yeah,
mine was the kitty cat. I don't know if that's a cop out or not, but I really enjoyed that cat. That's what I thought of when I first saw
I
that
don't,
Lord.
I don't know what to make of that.
Like I'm saying, I'll
I,
get some plushies of that kitty. I'm gonna get some posters of Stray and put them up. That cat's gonna be in my life somehow or another.
I guess you could say you really liked that pussy.
Yes! I was hooked on first sight.
I so I will say, I think that Manon Gage is very cute, but I was like, she's because she's from Immortality, which is an FMV game. I was like, would it be weird to put like a real person and like the the into the sexiest video game character list? But then you put a cat into sexiest video game character, so like I guess it wouldn't have been as weird, but
Yeah, yeah, fair.
um,
Little backpack.
the little backpack. So do you want me to go first again?
You can choose, but I'll go first. How about that? Switch it up.
All right. We'll go with the Boo Motherfucker Award, which goes to the surprise game of the year.
All right, so I didn't know anything about this game until its release. I didn't even know the studio was making anything. Like I played their games in the past, but this game is Cult of the Lamb, and that game literally I just had no intentions of spending money, no nothing. I chose Cult of the Lamb immediately because that game surprised the fuck out of me. And I did everything in that game, man. Like as soon as it dropped, I was done with it in like maybe 2 weeks because I play it every single day as much as I could, and I did everything I could in that game. And it surprised the shit out of me because it literally took over my life for like 2 weeks straight.
Yeah, I will say that was on my list as well. I changed it late, but I think I might leave it at Cult of the Lamb as well because I had changed it because I was like, man, I need to have more games that I actually played on the awards. But Cult of the Lamb, like you said, I had heard of it like early this year, but I didn't really know anything about it. And then it came out, and like if you had told me that one of the most played games by anybody this year was a Animal Crossing meets Hades crossover,
Yeah,
I would have been like, I don't believe you. But that's what it is. It's Animal Crossing meets Hades, essentially.
it really is. And it's such a wonderful game, and I can't wait to see more from them. And I really think they have something toward like that game could potentially in the future be just as good and have a following like Animal Crossing if they so
Yeah.
choose. Just to make the make it have the loops and stuff, but maybe just more to your home. Like you can add such a large portion of the game to be bigger and at building your own base and home and make it larger and interact with friends online. Maybe like there's a lot there. There's a lot more potential, and they nail what they have in there is perfect. It's nailed. It works so well, and it's very enjoyable. but when they expand, I feel like they got something there. I really do. I can't wait to see the future of Cult of the Lamb because I guarantee you there will be another one.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, Cult of the Lamb, like just the animation style, obviously the gameplay worked for a lot of people, and I will say, like, maybe it was because it was the two different gameplay styles, but like, because if you got tired of one style, you could just go and start playing the other way as well. But like the gameplay, the animation, just that little lamb is so adorable. Like the cutest thing.
So cute. A lot of the guys are cute. And it makes it extra awful when you name them, and then they're like, "Oh, I gotta sacrifice you, buddy. I'm sorry."
The Twitch integration for that game. Did you ever look into that?
You played it on console. I don't know if it had Twitch integration with console, but
yeah, it might not have. But like, so you could play the game on Twitch, and it would actually name your followers, automatically name your followers after your viewers in chat. And so then you could sacrifice your viewers.
that's kind of brutal, but I mean, very good interaction, that's for sure.
Oh yeah, like a lot of times with Twitch integration, it's like, oh, your audience can vote on this one thing or whatever. But no, this was like, no, it names your followers after your followers. So you could tell your chat to eat shit.
Yeah, for real.
But anyway, it was a great game. Just it really was a surprise. I really wish I had gotten around to play it, but later in the year things started unraveling for me, so I didn't play a lot of games in the last 4 months or so. I will try to get better at that next year. I'm already better than I was in 2021. I only played 3 new games in 2021, so nothing but going up.
Yep.
Okay, so we got the Louis the Prince Award and then the Game of the Year. So, the Louis the Prince Award, that for anyone that doesn't know who Louis the Prince is, Louis the Prince is actually the man that actually invented the video camera, not Edison. Edison stole from him. Does that surprise you? And then he actually basically beat Edison, and then disappeared along with his patented video camera. And with him not being present, the patent then went to Edison.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's never been seen from, and neither has the first video camera. So to honor him, we named the award for Best Cinematic to him. So this award goes, like I said, to the game that has the best cinematics. The game where their cutscenes are just do you want me to go first on this?
I'm gonna go, and I have a game and 2 runner-ups that I'd like to mention. Okay, yeah, because I had a hard time choosing between the 3, and honestly, it has to go to God of War. That's what wins. It is just a crazy, just epic, just absolutely epic. Jaw, I don't know how many times when I was playing that game that I had to pick up my jaw off the ground and just like, holy fuck.
I saw,
Holy
yeah,
fuck.
I was
Jesus
scrolling.
Christ. Like, this is a blank check video game sometimes when I'm
Yeah,
just seeing some of this, just the scale and how much is happening and how interacted I am. And, like, it's so good. But
yeah,
obviously, I choose God of War. If you have beat God of War, you understand why. And if you haven't beat God of War, maybe you already know why.
yeah.
But my second runner-up is Horizon Forbidden West.
That was a
Also
very
had
pretty game.
very pretty game, and I just it didn't win any awards for anything, not even from me. But it is not a bad game. It's just been pulverized by Elden Ring and
God of War.
God of War and anticipation of God of War, and there's just a lot of other games that just got the limelight. And Horizon was a very good, solid game. It's not an amazing game, but it's a good game. It's a really good game, and it got no spotlight at all. So here's my version of spotlight, with it being second runner-up, and third runner-up is Sifu. Sifu was also a
Yeah,
pretty crazy cinematic experience. I know the graphics aren't necessarily amazing or anything, but the cinematic experience of playing it and interacting between the cutscenes and being able to just do some crazy shit on screen and make you feel like an actual badass beating the shit out of people, like the real John Wick. But yeah, Sifu third running up. Yeah, shout out to Horizon
yeah.
and Sifu. Let's
So
go, God of War!
yeah, Sifu was actually in contention for me for Boo Motherfucker,
Okay.
because like the time between announcement and it coming out was relatively short for compared to a lot of other games. But so it is a good looking game, and I agree with you. Horizon should have gotten more love than what it did, but it is a absolutely beautiful game. But I will say, I was scrolling through YouTube yesterday actually, and one of the things on my feed was a clip of Atreus meeting Thor's daughter or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and I was like, that game has no right to look that good. Like, it just looks so good.
Looks so good, and the acting, the voice acting, and just the motion cap is just so on point. These guys are just obviously professionals. There's a reason that the video game industry makes the most money in the world, and I can't wait to see the future of Sony Santa Monica. Like, I can't imagine what they have in store for us for the end of the PS5 cycle.
Yeah. So for me, though, well, as I mentioned before, I I wanted to try to have the awards I give to games I've actually played. And I also didn't want to have the issue that the Game Awards has, where like the same game wins just every award. So I wanted to make sure every game had its spotlight. So that eliminated one of my primary choices for best cinematics. So I don't know if this is technically a cop out or not. But for cinematics, I went with Immortality.
Oh.
Um, I know it's not really cinematics because it's all video, but
Sorta. I mean, it's still a video game.
yeah. But like, you think of the FMV video game, and you think of like the games that were coming out in like the early to mid '90s, where not only was it standard def, but like digital was so nascent that you just had archiving, like pixelation all over the place. Like the video was not clear whatsoever. And then you have this game, which is FMV, and I can't speak to whether or not FMV fully died because I just don't know that genre as well. But just to take a look at, it being all HD, like, I don't know if it is full 4K, but like super high quality HD regardless.
Mm-hmm.
And just having that is like, we've had HD for a while. Why hasn't FMV come back? Now that digital can actually handle the video quality, But yeah, that game is a very pretty game. And like, even then, like the like you go through different scenes, obviously you go through interviews with her, it's different scenes that she's in for like the 3 different movies. And each movie is like a different period piece movie. And so like they have filters on like the scenes from the movies that are like that reflect that time period. And like the interviews with her is like it's like broadcast quality, which I don't intend as an insult at all, but live video typically is not going to be as high quality as something that's pre-recorded. So like when she's on a talk show, it's kind of got like that film that you kind of see with like talk shows, even modern day talk shows, where it's not quite the same quality as what you'd see elsewhere. Mm-hmm. And so like just them playing with like the different filters and just kind of matching the style of each thing, in addition to, like I said, it being high definition and all of this other stuff. It's like there's something to the FMV genre that hopefully this game can bring back. But again, it's all videos, like it's all cinematics, so I don't know if it's cheating saying best cinematic, but I did enjoy it. And I think that it's going to be my Louis the Prince winner.
Okay. Respect.
Sorry if I went on a little long there, but...
No, you're fine. Yeah, no. This is the whole point. We justify why we chose what we chose.
Yeah.
And you have justified just fine.
Yeah, you should try Immortality if you get a chance.
I might just do that. It's on Game Pass, right?
Yeah, I played it through PC Game Pass, so I was like, man, it's an FMV. I want to just do the clicking. Like, I don't want to try to configure a controller to, So, yeah, I was just playing it on my gaming PC, so... Let's see, it was that, and I guess it's just our goatees now, right? We did the Charles.
Just the goatees, yeah. I've got my checklist off here. Just the one more. Just the last one.
So you want me to go first with my game of the year?
Well, yeah, sure. Go for it.
And the Dean Slater's game of the year for 2022 goes to Kirby and the Forgotten Land.
Whoa! Just bought that game. Very good choice.
It's a great game. I'm excited to hear what you have to say about the game, especially the ending. Oh my god, I can't wait to hear you talk about the ending, so I have someone to talk to about it.
Okay.
But yeah, like I said, this game was actually in the running for Best Cinematic 2, because somehow these motherfuckers at HAL Laboratories managed to actually, like, get the Switch to show, like, individual hairs and blades of grass. It's like, there's no way I'm playing this on my Switch.
Yeah.
It is such a gorgeous game. The gameplay is the best Kirby's ever felt to play. I kind of wish it was more like what we were thinking it was, where it was more open world, where it is not open world whatsoever in the slightest. But The levels are fun. They don't. None of the areas overstay their welcomes. Some of the boss fights are real tough. Uh, there's there's one boss. Her name is what is it? Claudine. She gave me some fits.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I played, at the demo version of the game at stores, and the controls feel perfect, and
Oh yeah.
Kirby moves so well, and the combat is fun, and being able to take over things and driving the car and just taking over a cone, and it's so silly and fun and great. And no, it's not open world Mario like I would like Odyssey style like I want it to be, but I know that what they have in that narrow area, like pathways, that is
Yeah.
a great experience and well made and well crafted.
Oh yeah. It is a phenomenal game. And then as I don't want to like partially spoil it too much by talking about the ending, but oh my god, the ending.
Okay, okay.
It was epic. Uh, I can't stop thinking about it. Um, but anyway, what was your game of the year?
My game of the year is kind of a little bit of a no-brainer. It's God of War Ragnarok. Wow. Oh,
Bam,
big
bam, bam.
surprise. Bam, bam, bam. That game, I know it just came out, and you were like, oh, it was just recency bias. No, this game is absolutely phenomenal. The first game from 2018 is phenomenal, and this game is even more phenomenal. Amplify it two, threefold. Just absolutely playing it, just the
Mhm.
video game, playing it as a video game. The playing, the combat, the traversal, like the dialogue and the story and the fucking spotless cutscenes and transitions and the one shot camera and like just emotionally pulling me into the story and twists and turns and reveals and just and the RPG of it, of having an armor system and leveling up and finding the materials and having places to travel to and free roam within these realms. It's just absolutely awesome. The amount of side quests I couldn't believe. There's just so much shit to do. I'll tell you, I spent a shitload of time playing that game. I put a ton of, way more than I expected. I put 71 hours into it, and I have the platinum. And I know I put in, I think, 45, 46 hours into God of War 1 from 2018.
Yeah.
So I put in about another 30, 40 hours into this game, and there's so much to do. I did everything. I love it so much. The story, again, like there's reveals. I just had my mouth on the ground. I couldn't believe what I was seeing, what was happening, how I was able to interact with it. So fucking good. It is a video game while being the most cinematic experience I've ever had.
There is a downside to the game though.
It is only on PlayStation.
No. I mean, that's the downside, but that's an understandable downside. No. They made PlayStation All Stars canon.
No, they sure did too. They sure did. They referenced PlayStation All Stars, how Kratos fought against the world's best rapper, Parappa Rappa, whatever.
Yeah, no, I understand. I've been so far, like I've mentioned in the show before, I've been out of the PlayStation ecosystem since the PS3. I am planning on getting a PS5 with the tax return because the area we live in is one of the areas that there's no longer a shortage of PS5s. I plan on getting one with my tax return, and the two franchises I'm looking at buying first, Spider-Man and then God of War 1 and 2. So like it that game has impressed me enough that it's going to be one of my first purchases.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal experience. Like I can't say enough about it. It's definitely just a whole all the feel. It had me tearing up And any game that has me in emotions in general, that can fully pull me in emotionally and just whether it's dragging me through the dirt or making me feel good or making me feel fearful, like this game does all of it and makes me I don't know, man. I can't. It's hard to explain. Video games are awesome for time
Yeah.
escapism and stuff, but this game is an extreme escapism and really pulls in my heart in multiple different ways that I never expected. And the only thing I could compare it to is The Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2, but Part 2 really pulled on my emotions as well. And that's why I thought
Yeah.
that game was great, because I was like, damn, I didn't know video games could really have me feeling this way. God of War is one of those games.
Yeah, see, like, Last of Us I'm interested in, but, man, with everything going on in the world, it's like, do I really need something that's as dark as that franchise right now in my life? But yeah, no, you've mentioned all of that with, like, you know, the characters and the emotional resonance and so forth. You haven't even mentioned something that a lot of people have talked about. I can't speak for experience because I haven't played it, but like, you can feel using the blades and the axe and all
Through
of
the
that.
controllers, yes.
Yeah.
For sure. The DualSense is amazing. The axe, just feeling the axe come back to your hand, you can just feel it slowly get closer and closer and closer to your hand and then slam into your hand. That feels good. The blades swinging around, it feels like the chains are like going through your hands kind of with the finger, while your hand's on the finger or your finger is on the controller, Jesus. But
Yeah.
yeah, no, it is great. It is great. It feels weird but fun at the same time.
Yeah. And I think we're out of time. I don't think we'll mention. We'll mention one honorable mention, like a game that we really wanted to have on our list that we just couldn't find a spot for. You have a game like that?
Like what?
Just a game that you wanted to give an award to, but you just couldn't find an award to fit it into.
I know I kind of said it earlier, but Horizon, man, Horizon was a phenomenal game,
Yeah.
and it's better, way better than the first, and the cinematics are even better, and the plot thickens more. I would say its ending fell flat on its face, but other than that, it's still a really, really, really good game, and I'm excited for more from that franchise. I know that franchise is bringing more, so like they got a VR game coming out in February. They have a multiplayer game they're working on, and there's guaranteed going to be a third game, full game. So I
Yeah.
am excited for that series and a show. And there's also a show.
Yeah. So for me, it is definitely Tunic. For those of you who aren't Patreon supporters on just the basic support level, you can get our post show, which is called The Back Pages, and in it we talk about what we've been playing and some of our experiences and so forth. And if you have been supporting, you know this already, but for the majority, I would say I just played Kirby last month. So between March and last month, Tunic was my game of the year. Like, it spent so much time at the top, only to get knocked down at the last second. So I want to shout out Tunic. Also, did not get very much love at the Game Awards because of Stray being a cult game.
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, did it really need to win Best Indie and Best Debut Indie? You couldn't have just, split them up? Come on. Come on, Game Awards voters.
Come on!
Just a cat. If you liked, or even if you didn't like this podcast, make sure to do all of the things, like hitting the like button and hitting the subscribe button, as well as the bell at the XofPlays on YouTube, or giving it a high rating on whatever podcast service you use so you can find like-minded people. Be sure to tell people about the show Word of mouth is the best way to help us grow. And I brought it up before, but on patreon.com/thebriefingroom, you can financially support the show and get crew rewards as well, like I mentioned, with their back pages. That's all from us. Take care.